So here's a quick recipe. It actually calls for turkey. I am using chicken. I'm using my normal seasonings for my chicken. It does call for rotel, 2 cans. I'm actually just using tomatoes and bell peppers. I had a little abundance of tomatoes. And for the corn, about a can and a half is what I had, but it calls for 1 can. So here, just prepare the chicken. I had previously cooked it, so I just went ahead and added the cheese, added the tomatoes, the bell peppers, and pretty much as soon as the cheese is melted, it is done. Easy as can be and super delicious. It does make 8 servings. Maybe between a half a cup and 1/3 cup. I used the actual spoon as my servings and I got 8, so it's perfect. So here I decided to make homemade tortillas. I personally don't usually measure, but for video purposes and because I'm showing this for the first time, I decided to measure. I have the recipe. This recipe, you can find it in the Weight Watchers app. So I used 1 cup of maseca and about a cup and a half of water. You just kind of have to feel it, make sure it's not too dry and make sure it's not too soft. It's just manageable. Here I went ahead and made 8 small balls. Okay, those are my servings. I got 8 servings. So I'm going to show you how to make them without a tortilla press. Not everybody has one. So here I'm using the plate method. So you press on the plate. Now, it's not always going to work out perfect, but you just go ahead and do it slowly. Make sure it's even as possible. Here, I used my hand to kind of even it out. It's not that pretty, but I mean, it's as good as I could get it during this method. So the more you practice, the better it will look. Now, you're gonna try to pull this as slowly as possible. I did put a little bit of water on there so it could be like an easy peel. So make sure you add a little bit of water so towards the end you'll be able to pull the plastic right off without it tearing. So here I am, I'm gonna make my next tortilla. I forgot to turn on my stove, so I just turned it on. So that's why I'm putting it on a wax paper. So to make sure that my stovetop is actually hot, because you don't want to put it on cool. It's just the tortilla ain't gonna be pretty. So make sure your stovetop is on and hot and ready for these tortillas to be placed on. So this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Your tortilla is not gonna be pretty. You're gonna be pressing on this tortilla until you get it perfect. So here I was like, oh, I got the hang of this, because again, I have a tortilla press, so I don't really do the plate method. But I went ahead and I was like, ooh, confident. Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and speed through this. And yeah, one side was a little bit too skinny compared to the other side. So yeah, like I said, it ain't gonna be pretty. And even if you try to pull it out, it's so thin that it's not even gonna cook properly, because you have a skinny side and you have a thick side. So here we just started all over again. You can just roll it back up and start all over. kind of feel it. You can either do it on a pan, or in my case, I forgot what this is called, but this is what I use to heat up my tortillas. My griddle maybe. So usually I make a tortilla, I put it there to start cooking, and I don't let it sit there very long. I just keep flipping it over, 30 seconds, a minute, flip it over, and you'll be able to tell the difference. So just go ahead and flip it over. At the most, it would be 2 minutes. It does not take that long to cook, especially because they're so thin. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how I usually make my tortillas, okay? This is by hand. The other way is like by machine. That's what I always tell my friends. Because I literally just use my hands to make the tortillas. So here I'm just showing you that, you don't have to have like a special way in making them. You pretty much, again, you have your little ball and you start squeezing it around. Make sure that your hands are wet, because again, if your hands are not wet, the masa will stick to your hands. So you don't want that, because then it won't shape. Okay, so you always want to make sure your hands are wet with water, not oil. You don't want them fried. So with water, and you just press on it kind of in a circular motion, and that's how you did it. So here, I'm actually going to show you the method I have to make my tortillas. This is how I learned. This is how I was taught in El Salvador and how to make tortillas. So here, it's not hard. It may look hard, but pretty much my left hand is doing like a squeeze. Okay, so I'm squeezing it. My right hand is holding the tortilla. So it's like we squeeze, we turn. We squeeze, we turn. We squeeze, we turn. Hopefully you understand what I'm trying to tell you. And then I just squeeze, because you're gonna have like a little ball in the middle, and so I just squeeze it, kind of round it off. Again, it takes practice. It may not be this round. Sometimes I haven't made tortillas in a while, and I don't feel like these are perfect. So yeah, the more you do it, the more better you get at it, the more rounder they will look. So again, we're starting with our wet hands with water. We're gonna do the little squeeze and turn. So my right hand is really just holding the tortilla, okay? And I'm using my left hand to squeeze and kind of also help it move in a circular motion. So, you're not pressing hard. It's all soft and quick, open, close, open, close. So again, this is just the way I do it. Again, I showed you the plate method and just the kind of squeezing with both your hands. So it's however you feel is more comfortable. And again, you would have to practice in order for it to be perfect. Like right there, you see right there? Yeah, it's okay. I just squeezed it together. So it's all good. No need to get upset. No need to start all over. You just, all right, you make sure that's the size you want, and you just put it on there to cook. And that's it. So, it's not complicated. Don't be hard on yourself. And again, the first time, for my first time, it was not pretty. It was not pretty. So because my tortillas are slightly thicker, I do leave them on longer, and I do like them to be like get a little color, you know, so I do let them stay there for a little longer. So here I'm trying to show you the difference. Okay, so we have the plate method and we had the hand method, we're gonna call it. So it's slightly different on the size, and because you can get them thinner with the plate, but I mean, I got the same amount of tortillas. So there you have it.